Good morning again. This is Dr. Bill Wyatt. My voice is going fast. So I'm going to pick up here with separation, where we separate for the first and second molars back here, but we put brackets on everything else in there. So that's where we are at this point right here. And so I'm going ahead and start here and see. And there's all kind of separators. There's a lot of different types of separators. Let me see if we, these are little elastic type plastic separators, and they're pretty heavy. You run a little dental floss down through the middle of them and hook out. You can pull it, it'll pop loose there. Now, learning how to use a separator, it's hard for people to just grab them and start and automatically know what you're going to do with them. So if you got two tightly fitting teeth in here, I mean, they're up against one another. I mean, they touch in here, and you got to get this separator in and out on the other side and around like that. By far, the best way to do it is to take some dental floss, which is fibers of nylon, real thin. You run them on the floss, and now you pop the fiber down through this contact point. The tooth will give like that, and you can go through and get this through there. And that's the end of the separation. Let me go back, show that again. You pull that, and then you run that through. I'll think that through. I'll show it again here. All right, here we go. So you pop the floss through there. You get floss between any teeth. It'll separate the teeth. Just one fiber thick, and go down through it. Then you pull the wire through there, pull the separator underneath here. Like, I go in like that. And then very carefully pulling on both ends of the separator, thin it out, and you get it through there. And then you pop it up just a little bit. Don't go too hard, too fast. And you can get this separator down in between those two teeth like that. If you look at the tooth, let's see, like we have, let me just make a little white area like this. And you've got the tooth here. You've got another tooth right beside it like this. And you pop that floss through, you suck this through, and then you pull it out and stretch it and get one side of it to come through over here. And now you've got the separator in between the gap like that. And you leave that alone for about a week, and I'll guarantee you, you'll have a space between that tooth that you can put your band on. That tooth, you'll slip it in there. That separator will be up like this. It swells up with moisture anyway. The whole thing run around, and that separates that tooth much better than anything I know of, really. You can snap it in like that and pull it. And so that's one of the best ways to separate the teeth. I'm going to erase that now, and we'll show something else here. All right, we've got it underneath there. And we pull it up and get it to stay right between the contact points They say this is the permanent 6-year molar, maybe this is a deciduous tooth, or maybe it's a 6-year molar here and a second molar over there, or going back the other way. You can put a separator like that between virtually any tooth you want to. It'll make the tooth sore. And so I let people do this out of way from the office. A lot of times learn how to do it and do that, and so it works better that way. I don't know whether you can hear me here, but I'm going to turn that thing up a little bit. Now, we take a tooth that is tilted like that. You can go in and put the separator in, and you leave it, and it'll open, and then you pull the separator out, and the tooth can come on up in the mouth further. Here's placing the separator between a tooth. You can actually put a separator in on a tooth that's not even in the mouth, in the crown, in the open part of the mouth. Or let's say, so you come to a wisdom tooth that's coming in, and you would like to separate this wisdom tooth. And you've got to, this is the second molar. Here's the wisdom tooth back in here, hopelessly impacted, so you're going to have to get it out. So let's come in and separate this. You can pop that floss through like this and put a separator in a tooth that you can't even see. And that's possible to do. I've done that on many teeth. So we pop that floss through on this, and here's the wisdom tooth is underneath here, and it'll push it back. And if you go and take that back, you make room where you can band that tooth if you wish. To show you how you can do things with separators you wouldn't think you can do. So now, if you look at it from straight on, it's got a little cavity right there. Part of the soul shows up here. You leave it in there about a week, take it out, and you'll have a space in there that you can work with. All right. When we first started this, we used brass wire to separate the teeth. We didn't have the elastic material like we have today. So we took the brass wire, wrapped it around a pole like that. Stick it in the thing. And then you took shears, slipped them in over, you slide it off, and now you take a pair of shears and push into this ring of brass wire like that. Now you cut that, and you've got a whole host of circles that are cut in two. And you can take those circles like that, put them on a pair of pliers like this, and you can even sharpen this if you want to, make it even sharper, and get up, and you can run that through the tissue. You need to deaden it a little bit to do that. Now you take that and run it between the teeth, bring this top over this way, and that's on the outside, and you twist that down real tight, and I guarantee you it'll have a force on it, and it'll separate these teeth right here. And we used to separate with brass wire all the way around the teeth. You cut it off and tuck it in, get it out of the way. Now they came up with a better way of separating, and this was a one of the companies made these things that you separate with. And you didn't put the plier in here, you put the plier over here. You put this on the top of the tooth. Now, your tooth would be something like this, and you put this loop right here going over, comes up on the top, looks down this way, and then this one, and you put your plier down here, pull that down, slide it underneath there. You can see how to do it here. So you push it here, feed it through there. Now you slide that out. And that is an excellent separator. It's in springs and it pushes the teeth away like that. And so that's the way we did a lot of separations. There you just take these things, pull them off, boil them and clean them up real good. You can use them over again. That's the way it is. Your plier fits here, here. You put that over the tooth, spring this way down, run it under the tooth, then like that. And that is an excellent separator. All right. Sometimes we needed to actually strip the teeth. Now, when I was doing all this several years ago, the main stripping company was Oracle. And now my mouth is dry again. So we'll have to take a little water. We use Oracle stripping material. Now this, I always use the fine grit. And these things are 8 millimeters this way. And I don't know, it's a bit long. You can cut them in about 3 pieces if you want to and use them that way. Now that's 8 millimeters. It's fine. And when we strip lower anterior teeth, sometimes you need just a little bit of room down on the lowers, and you would line them up and you would run level spots through them. By pulling that separator through there, you made these flat spots in the teeth. There'd be little flat spots in between these teeth. And these are teeth that are kind of semi-crowded. And you could put those together, and they're like having stones in an arch. You squeeze them together, and then the tooth has to move a good bit this way or this way to lap outside of that. And that's one way of kind of having it where they have to be forced in that way. So we use the 8 millimeter fine double-sided and single-sided. If you wanted just to strip on one side and have it flat the tooth on the other, you'd use the single-sided flipping material. Now back when I first started this, they didn't have any good things to pick up the brackets with. So I went to the hardware store somewhere you could buy these little bracket deals like this. And unknown to me, that was what the people that smoked marijuana would buy these and hold the marijuana so it wouldn't burn their hand. And so I was buying so much they wondered what I was doing with them. And I had to tell them, we could take those things and make them, back at the back we would mash those deals in. I can see those things sticking out here. We mash them together with a plier and see how we squeeze that together. Now we can take that and mash it further. Now I can come out here and catch this and bend it down like that. And we can open that and stick a bracket on it. Just bend that wire down about like that. That's a Jura-back, very small pointed deal. Now you take a bracket and you open that thing up, clamp it onto the bracket like this, just clamps down on there. And now you hold your finger over one side and the other finger over here, and you can smear bonding material on that, and you've got that bracket. It can't go anywhere. And you smear that on there. Then you can take that to the tooth surface. Now, if you wanna, that doesn't show that very good, but we've holded it into that. Now here's a little better shot. And this is a clear bracket. We put the bonding material out here on this side, push it on the tooth, and then open that thing up and put an explorer in here. And you can direct that back exactly where you wanted it. Now, taking one of these porcelain brackets off, like you could carry it up to the tooth like that and put it on there, and then you take an explorer and move it exactly where you want it, and then rake the excess off in most cases. Now there we're going to bend some from a bicuspid, so you can take those things and bend them around like that and then go down. Bend it around and bend it up, and you've got a thing where you can go back and put a bicuspid bracket on. Now, the ladies helping me knew how to do this. And say you could go take a strip of magnetic strip, stick it on a piece of plastic or something like that, and you can load this up with the brackets like they're going to go in the mouth. And they would load that up with a bicuspid. In other words, you'd start out on one side of the second bar, the first bar, the cuspid, the four anteriors, in the same way back over there. And then have it all ready, and I could come out and then put the bonding material on there, and then we would put them on the teeth, then we would hit them with a light and start it. So I could put a set of brackets on somebody's teeth in just a matter of a few minutes. We'd have every tooth bracketed and bonded over, and we'd close with this light, like that. All right, we took toothpicks and we reach in where we had the bonding material. Oh, let's see. All right. I think we're about to the end of bracketing. All right, I'm going to close out this and start again in a minute and show you how we got the bands and got the brackets. You have brackets for every different type of tooth. This is Ormcomb's brackets in boxes like this. And the bands, you come in, you have a whole host of bands for every lower 6-year molar, lower right 6-year molar, lower left, got a whole deal like that of bands. Now the lady got the case ready with no nail sure where this is sure what you're going to do. And the ladies would get it completely ready, and I would come back by and stick these brackets on the band and put this in the mouth. All right, I'm going to stop right there and we'll pick up again here in a few minutes.